Go on then, what are we doing here today?
Oh, well, obviously we're on our way into HSBC because 10 days ago, on the 19th of June, I deposited £4,385.89. It's not been credited to my account, and I'm going to go in and speak to the manager because I want to know where that is and what's going on.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
That's what's concerning.
Yeah, what's concerning is I made a deposit last week, and it's not paid in my account.
What's your name?
It's Martin now.
How much was it for?
£4,385.
Was it a cheque or was it cash?
It was cash paid into that machine.
Just have a seat.
So, you're the manager, yeah?
I am the manager here, yes. Come. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
How can I help?
Right, I made a deposit in the automated machine last week, and it hasn't been credited to my account. And the reason I'm obviously chasing it up is
Right, lovely.
I've got HSBC contacting me, saying that my account is overdrawn.
Okay, so it's 19th of the 6th. Do you have the original receipt?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we've got that one, lovely.
We've made a copy because obviously, you know, a lot of money's gone missing there, so we don't want to be letting anything else out of our possession.
Yeah.
Obviously, if HSBC aren't able to, you know, sort that out, maybe as an administrative error, I'm not sure, but obviously...
Usually, if we do get examples where, you know, for some reason we can't match up what's been written on the paying in slip with an account or something like that, and it will go into a miscellaneous account. So that may have been one. Was it a handwritten credit?
Yeah,
It was a handwritten one.
I did write
Okay.
it.
So that could be the reason, whether one of the figures were just hard to read and we couldn't match it up. So let me just go and investigate with the counter. Do you have your account details that you paid us into?
Yeah.
I'll just go right through the account statement just to make sure. Did you print off a statement or anything at all?
A
Have
statement?
you printed off a statement?
No,
for the account?
I've checked online. It's not there.
Okay, bear with me then. I'll just go and have a look.
Thank you.
Hello, sorry to keep you waiting. Okay, we've done all the preliminary checks on the counter, and the cashiers that were working that day who empty the machine and credit the accounts don't remember having any odd envelopes that didn't match up. I'll show you what we've checked so far. So we've checked to see if that amount was paid in at all to any account on that day, and it wasn't, not through our tills. And then we've checked, this is the tally roll for the paying in machine, and we can see your entry at the top there. And we always check the number of deposits against the number of envelopes we've had, and that matches up. So we do need to do a few more investigations just to try and find out what exactly has gone, what's happened. Do you remember the breakdown at all? Do you remember
no, I don't.
Notes?
No.
You don't know at all roughly what you may have paid in, whether it was 50s, 20s, 10s?
It was a single note, wasn't it?
It's been a single note.
Well, what was paid in was cash. It's tendered as cash when you pay in a promissory note. So that was what was paid in.
A promissory note?
Yes.
Okay. A promissory note is not cash.
Well, it is.
And I do remember. No, it's not. A promissory note is where there is a third party. So somebody is giving you a promissory note to say that they owe you money, and then you give that to us, for example, if you owed us money.
So,
but this promissory note was addressed from you to us.
So you do remember?
I do remember that. Now you've said promissory note.
Right, okay.
Because at first you told me it was cash.
Well, it is, because when you tender a promissory note, it's to be treated as cash. Lord Denning judgment.
But the promissory note has to come from a third party. So it's someone that owes you money and you owe us money. So the promissory note is to say that that third party is going to pay us.
So what's happened to that promissory note?
Can I just...
We still have that.
You still have it. So you've had that now for over 7 days. Is that right?
Well, I can bear with me because I know I've just been told that there is a promissory note, but you writing a promissory note and giving that to us is not cash. that's not considered as cash. There has to be a third party.
And are you able to quote your source on that as to where it states that that's not treated as cash?
Well, I can check for you, but
Okay.
I'll certainly have a look
I'd
at
be
that.
very interested to, and also what I think would be a good idea is if you're making such a claim, then we would expect to leave here with that in writing with your signature on. So that's as far as we're concerned.
Okay. Can I ask, just so we understand what your position is, where you feel that money is going to come to us from?
Well, that is cash. That is the cash.
I mean, what you just said there about there being a third party
But
involved.
that's not giving us cash.
No, what you said about a third party being involved, I actually know that's not true, because this is a subject I'm quite clued up on. The fact is, where you're saying it's not cash, actually you're quite incorrect. It is cash.
So because anybody could just type up a note saying, I promise you, a promissory note saying that.
Like the Bank of England.
Okay.
Bills
You're
of
going to have
Exchange
to leave
Act,
it with me.
Bills of Exchange Act 1882 and Lord Denning as well quite clearly state that a promissory note is to be treated as cash.
And there's no third party involved.
And we suspect that you're aware of this and that you're not crediting it. Now, you were aware, but yet you asked us questions, and then all of a sudden it comes back to you. So, now, considering the fraud that HSBC are recently involved in, this sounds exactly like the same kind of thing. So all we're saying is, if you've kept it for longer than 7 days, then by law it's accepted, and you need to credit that account for that amount. And if you don't, and if you wish to refuse it, then I expect a letter with your signature on, personally saying that you don't accept it and that you're refusing it, and we'll walk away with that.
Okay. If we can calm down for a moment, because I am trying.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Sorry. Sometimes when we come across with this information because we know what we're talking about, and it's no offence to you, but I think we both find it quite frustrating when we're being told, the sky's green when we can quite clearly see it's blue. So when we're being told that a third party has to be involved or it's not cash.
Where is the cash to us? Because we can't just type in an amount into your account. Where is the money going to come to us?
That is the cash. I mean, if you take a £10 note, what does it say on it? It says, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of. Does it not?
So in theory, I could give you a £20 note now and you'd have to exchange that for £20 of sterling if you're going to back it up with a payment. And the thing is, where you're saying where is that cash coming from? Okay. Let's have a look. Let's say for example, you're giving a customer a loan. You draw up a loan agreement with an amount on it. The customer signs that. Where does that money come from?
Okay, you are going to have to leave it with me because we don't get a promissory note hasn't been paid into this counter for 25 years. At least. Time. Okay, so the cashiers, they receive a piece of paper saying promissory note £4,000 odd. They're obviously and we've got very experienced cashiers on our tills, so you'll have to leave it with me, okay? And I can take it further for you. Do you have some contact details I can take?
Absolutely. If you want to take my number is.
Before we go, it's very important that we get clear what we're taking away is your statements. So are you saying
I can't write anything down for you today if that's what you want? I can't do that. we were a busy branch. I need to investigate this. I need to get guidance from another team as to what we are to do to go forward. Okay. Can I just say it would have made our life a lot easier had you told me at the beginning we paid in a promissory note. If you tell us we paid in cash, we're searching right through the tills. They're balancing the tills as we speak. Again, it
goes back to our knowledge on the subject, and as Lord Denning in a case with HSBC quite clearly stated,
a promissory note is to be treated once tendered. It's treated as cash. So
but
we refer to it as cash.
Do you agree that you could have said we've paid in this promissory note? We're concerned that you haven't treated it.
It's unfortunate that you've had to go to extra work to compensate for something that you should have done.
But when you're dealing with a bank, you kind of assume that they know.
You kind of assume you know
obviously
the law.
Banking, Bills of Exchange Act 1882 and such like.
And your own articles of association.
We don't have to know that information.
I'd come in here, on the assumption that the banks know what they're doing, kind of thing. So.